there's another definition too, that you see this in the story of Adam and Eve. So in the story of Adam and Eve, one of the ways God is characterized is as the spirit that calls you on your pride and presumption. So then you ask yourself, well, do you believe that exists? It's like, how often in your own life has pride gone before a fall? Is there some spirit that's operative in being that shows you the error of your ways when you get ahead of yourself, or not? And if the answer to that is no, you say, well, you have no conscience? Nothing calls you on your moral impropriety? You're overreaching? No one wants to be near you if you're one of those people. That's for sure. And is that real? So one of the ways God is presented in the Old Testament is this dynamic between calling and conscience, right? So there's the calling that is indicated in the story of Abraham and Moses that pulls you forward to the adventure of your life. And the other side of that is the constraint of conscience that tells you when you're wandering off the straight and narrow path. That's more the voice of negative emotion and threat detection. And calling is more like the voice of positive emotion that pulls you forward and invites you. But you need the dynamic between those two. That's the pillar of light and the pillar of darkness that guides the Israelites across the desert. Jonathan Pageau helped me figure that out. Just flattened me when he laid it out, because I could see the Taoist view of the world and the ancient Jewish view of the world stack on top of each other. And the implication of the story is very straight. It's like you leave a tyranny and you're lost. What guides you when you're lost? The interaction between what calls you forward and upward and the constraints of your own conscience that warn you when you're deviating from the straight and narrow path. That's the definition of God that emerges from Exodus.
And the balance of the mind to be able to figure out which is which and how to apply them. And the balance of the mind, this is why you have to have the least amount of problems in your life and keep your body as healthy as possible. So you don't have all these other things that are influencing the way you interact with the world. You got to have a balance of everything. All of it has to be kind of balanced together in order for you to have
the judgment.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise you can't see.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. You have to be able to see it. And it's hard.
And you have to want to see it.
Yes.
So why do you want to see it?
Me?
Yeah.
It's just my instinct. I follow my instincts with everything. I
Why?
always have.
Why?
I don't know. I think because I didn't have a lot of guidance when I was young, and because, I was a latchkey kid and parents divorced, split, a lot of moving. I think I developed my own appreciation of my instincts, of my thought. And I had seen enough people by the time I was a young boy ruin their lives and and I'd seen these poor decisions right in front of me. I'd seen poor thinking and excuse making and laziness.
Right, so you could see the negative consequences.
Yes, I had seen all these things, and because I didn't feel protected, I genuinely felt like I was on my own and I had to figure things out on my own. I developed a very early trust and recognition of the importance of that, and it's led me through my entire life. Everything that I ever did that was like a big risk was like a calling to me. Every single thing that I ever did, from getting into martial arts, I went from not doing it to doing it every day, all day, 7 days a week. It was a calling. Like I was called. It was like my mind interfaced with whatever that was, martial arts was, and said, "This is my ticket out of here. Like this is my ticket to be a different person."
Was that discipline? What was the ticket, do you think?
I don't even know if you call it discipline back then, because it was more of an obsession. So when you're obsessed with something, it doesn't require discipline because you can't wait to do it again. Discipline,
Okay.
Mike Tyson said best.
It was a real calling for you.
Mike Tyson said best. He said, discipline is doing something you hate, but doing it like you love it. Like when you're in training camp, like Mike Tyson was for a big heavyweight fight, you're pushing the limits of your physical endurance and recovery because you're trying to achieve an adaptation. You can't maintain fight-ready fitness all year round. One thing that people don't understand about like fight-ready, like when a guy like Islam Makachev, who is the UFC lightweight champion, the pound-for-pound best fighter on earth, when that guy is fighting, when he gets into the cage on the day, whatever it is, that Saturday night, this is a peak of performance and training that cannot be maintained. He wants to catch it right when he's right there, when the body hasn't broken down yet, the immune system hasn't broken down yet, the endocrine system isn't fried, the adrenals aren't fried. You're getting it to right when your body can recover and is forced to maintain this insane level of fitness, and then you have to take a break. Like, you cannot maintain fight camp all year round. You will not be able to do it. Your body will break down.
So
So it's not my point is, like, that requires discipline,
right?
Because that is no longer, you're no longer in the inspiration realm. You're not in the obsession realm. You are, I'm sure, as well. But you're also there's no fucking way you want to do it. There's no way you want to do more sprints. There's no way you want to do all this stuff. You must do it, though. You must do the calisthenics. You must do the live wrestling drills. You must do the Shark Tank, where they throw in a new fresh opponent every round for 5 rounds. So you're dealing with rested killers and you're exhausted. You have to do that. And that's pure discipline, and generally enforced discipline by coaches, because it's so rigid, it's so hard to do that you need someone over you with a stopwatch. Let's go. And everybody has to get up and go at it, because even the most disciplined, their body recognizes they need a break.
Right.
So that's pure discipline.